Hi there, Jaydip. So I see that you have written an essay for us. Okay, so let's see what you have done here in this particular task 1. The bar chart illustrates the total number of cars sold in the year 2018 across certain European countries for brands like Ford, Audi, and BMW. Okay, I would not have said like, because that's implying that there were other ones as well, and there were not. So you could have just said across certain European countries for the brands Ford, Audi, and BMW. That would have been more accurate, okay? Grossly, it is noticed that Hungary had the maximum sales, roughly 400,000, and Belgium had the minimum yearly turnover, approximately a quarter of the figure that Hungary had. Okay, let's see. Typically, and this is just a suggestion, you can keep in mind, you may want to use the word overall or clearly. So these are some kind of keywords to show the examiner, look, ladies, gentlemen, this is my overview. It's just a nice way of highlighting it. I don't know about the word grossly so much, okay? It is noticed that Hungary had the maximum sales. Okay, had the highest sales at roughly 400,000, and Belgium had the lowest yearly turnover at approximately a quarter of the figure, no comma here, that Hungary had. Okay, fine. Though Poland and UK, okay, Poland and UK, okay, fine. Though Poland and UK had better sales than Belgium and Italy, they were almost half of the figure that Hungary had, hovering around 200,000. UK and Poland. Okay, fine. Very interestingly, it is observed that countries like Germany, Ireland, and Holland had almost similar amounts of sales between 250,000 to 280,000, which is around 50,000 more than UK and nearly 50,000 less than France. The French are second in the list for buying cars in 2018 after the Hungarians, around about 90,000 less. Okay. Looking at the specific brands, Hungarians have demonstrated equal liking for Ford, Audi, and BMW, buying around 130,000 cars of each make. The French, Irish, and Polish, I wouldn't have said have liked, but liked all three brands with some variation. Let's see why you're talking about the French, Irish, and Polish. Let's see, French, Irish, and Polish. Okay. The French and Irish were more fond of BMW, purchased around 120 and 100,000 respectively, while the Polish were equally inclined towards Audi and BMW. Okay, fine. Moreover, to the biggest surprise, the Belgians remained the hardcore fans of Ford cars. That amounts to approximately 90% of their total purchase, amounting to 80,000, whereas Audi and Ford around 10,000 cumulatively. The British and the Italians purchased less number. No, purchased fewer Audis, I would have said here. Fewer Audis at nearly 10,000 only, but they had, it's 2018, we're now 2019, so they had an equal liking for BMW, purchasing ing around 90,000 cars in the given year. Germans were the least interested in buying Ford, roughly 10,000, followed by Italians at around 15,000. Overall, it is clear that the majority of the cars were sold in Hungary and the least were sold in Belgium, even though the response to different makes were vivid. Response? I don't know about this vocabulary here. The preference to different makes were varied, I would say here. How Audi had fewer sales compared to BMW. I don't know why you're saying Audi here. Did you mean Ford? I'm not sure. The Belgians favored only Ford, whereas the Germans and Italians did not. Okay. I haven't done a word count on this. It felt rather long. It felt like there was almost too much detail. Okay, lots of figures, lots of details. I'm curious if this took you under 20 minutes. I don't feel like your overviews were overviews because you just packed so much information into them. Like here, for example, I wouldn't have gone into all these specifics about the different makes if this is your overview. So for me, a good overview here is what you said here, that the majority of cars, not the majority of cars, but that basically, here's what I would have said. Hungary had the highest car sales, and Belgium the least. And then regarding the cars themselves, you could have said that while there was considerable fluctuation among the car makes, it appears that BMW was more preferred in the 9 countries in question. Okay, that would be a good overview for me. There is some detail, but there's not too much detail. All right, because remember, it's the main, most key feature, key trend. In fact, if you wanted in your overview, you didn't even really have to say that about the car makes themselves. Just talking about Hungary and Belgium would certainly be sufficient. Okay, but like I said, I did feel like there was a lot of detail here. Lots of figures. What I would like to see is maybe some better grouping of your information. You did some of that, but even when you grouped, there was just a lot of detail involved. So that's what I would like to see. You want to show that you can select the key features here, not necessarily talking about every single one. Let's see. Okay, on the whole, though, I should say that this is well written. There's a lot of nice vocabulary here. There is some awkwardness in the grammar, but you certainly do have a variety, and that's important in Task 1. There's a variety of grammatical structures. The vocabulary, like I said already, is very good. But for me, the biggest thing that I would like to see you work on is select your information a little more. Try to edit out some of these extra details. Like I said, I'm not sure how long this took you. I would be interested to hear how long it took. Because remember, you're supposed to write this in under 20 minutes. All right? So I'd like to see more work from you. Especially now having heard my corrections, I'd like to see how you apply some of the suggestions that I've made to your next writing assignments. And I'd certainly love to see some task 2s from you to see how you deal with those. You've probably noticed that there are a number of ways you can continue to work with us, either through the online course or through essay corrections. Please see which one suits you best. I'd really like to continue working together so we can help you meet your IELTS goals. Okay, so thanks for writing this today, and I want to wish you the best of luck.